Hey, Eagle fans! Your Statesboro Walmart is your one-stop shop for all your Georgia Southern football and game day needs. Pick up your GSU sports gear here. We have t-shirts, hats, tote bags, koozies, stadium bleacher seats, car spirit flags, wall pennants, beads, and more right here at the best prices in town. Also, don't forget we can handle all of your tailgating needs with our great food trays, baked goods, and fresh, high-quality meat, seafood, and chicken.
Walmart. Save money. Live better. Walmart.
On this week's show, the Georgia Southern golf team heads up to Indiana to begin the postseason in the NCAA Regionals, and the Georgia Southern baseball team wraps up the regular season on the road at Georgia State. All that and more as we welcome you inside the Eagles Nest. And welcome inside the Eagles Nest. I'm your host, Josh Aubrey, being joined by Mike Anthony, sports editor and Georgia Southern beat writer for the Statesboro Herald. And Mike, we keep saying it just about every week. Things are wrapping up. Well, you do have the Georgia Southern baseball team in their final three-game conference series of the year on the road at Georgia State. But we're going to begin with the Georgia Southern golf team, who's getting ready to head up to Noblesville, Indiana, to compete in the NCAA Regionals, and right now they go in, I believe, the 8th seed. Doesn't really matter what seed you are as you go up there. It really matters on your performance, and Georgia Southern goes in with a lot of momentum, having won the Sun Belt Championship. Seems like a long time ago, but I guess it was only a few weeks.
Well, you talk about wrapping up the good news for Georgia Southern golf and baseball, as well as that they get to decide when things wrap up. As long as they keep winning, they're going to keep on playing. And 3 weeks ago, actually, clinching the Sun Belt, one of the earlier conference championships played. The good news there is that there's plenty of time to practice. School was winding down. They didn't have to have that pressure of will they be an at-large pick or won't they. As they're studying for finals, they were able to just set their sights on whatever course it was going to be. It turns out it's the Indiana Regional. A little bit of a trek for them. They could have gone as close as North Carolina, I believe, is the next closest regional. A lot better than last year when they got sent the whole way out to Texas. But overall, the team studied all their courses. They like this one in Indiana. A little bit of a long course, but these Eagles have some length off the tee. They've been able to overpower a few courses. They'll have to overpower a few very good teams. As you mentioned, the number 8 seed, but overall ranked 45th in the nation by Golf Week. 30 make it to the national championship, so not too many teams that they'll have to play better than in order to keep their season alive.
Yeah, Georgia Southern has been on a roll, as we mentioned. They've also had some time off. Will that hurt? Will that help them? We don't know. 2 of the golfers are currently, as we speak, trying to qualify for the U.S. Open as well. We did have a chance to talk with some of the golfers about, and also head coach Carter Collins, about heading up to Indiana.
We want to do well in every tournament we play, as well as making it a national championship. I don't want it to be my last college golf tournament, so hopefully we'll get it done. We played against most of the teams at our regional side already this year, and we know we can compete with them and beat them, so we just got to do it again. We won conference by 16 shots, which was nice, and hopefully we'll keep it rolling into next week.
I felt like any of the 6 regional sites we ended up at, we're going to have to play our best golf to get through and get to nationals. I think it'll just be kind of getting through all the excitement of getting up there and kind of just, getting to that first tee shot and start playing our own games. I think we'll be just fine.
You go in on a roll. I would imagine that's the way you want to go into a postseason.
Absolutely. Anytime you can carry momentum into the postseason, I think you're in a good place. I wouldn't want it to be any other way. And if we can just kind of keep the ball rolling and do what we do best, hopefully it'll be a fantastic week up there.
Coach said the course is Jack Nicklaus design, and it's a pretty long course, but he feels like that plays into you guys' advantage.
Sure. I think it said it was something around 7,100 yards, so it's a little longer than average. Most of the guys on the 5 definitely hit it a pretty good ways. It'd be nice to get on some bent greens as well up there. So I haven't been up there myself, but from what we've seen from pictures and what Coach Meza said, the course looks really fantastic. So I'm just kind of getting ready to go.
One of our main goals of going into conference was to earn our spot in the regionals. We knew we'd had a solid enough year that we were going to earn an at-large bid, but to earn it with momentum means a lot more to us than just limping into regional. So proud of the team for winning conference the way we did, and it definitely gives us a big boost of confidence going to regionals. And yes, sir, it only helps us heading up to Indiana. We feel like if we play our best that, we can stack up against anybody in the country. So again, we're not really focused on all the teams that are there. We're focused on just doing our best and seeing where that puts us. And we have a good feeling if we do our best, prepare well, play well, that we'll get the result we want.
With more than 100 years of experience under one roof, Complete Car Care on 207 Northside Drive can do it all for your car or truck, gas or diesel, even hybrids, motors, tune-ups, front end, air conditioning, transmissions, electrical. Complete Car Care does it all. When others say no, Complete Car Care says yes. Come see what Michael and his team can do for you at Complete Car Care, 207 Northside Drive.
Well, Mike, moving on now to the baseball team, where Georgia Southern did not play a conference series this past weekend, but still moved up in the standings. Right now, Georgia Southern in third place, but only a game behind second place and only a game ahead of fourth place as they get ready to wrap things up this week. Your thoughts on where Georgia Southern stands as they head to Georgia State with a lot on the line?
Well, Georgia Southern right about where they want to be. The way I see it, I don't think there's a way that they can end up first. They could tie South Alabama. However, South Alabama, after coming in here and sweeping Georgia Southern, they would own the tiebreaker there. They could end up, though, anywhere from second to about fifth. The good news is they're in the tournament no matter what, but they still have some work to do if they want to get some favorable matchups, maybe some better game times. Some of those games going off as early as 9 a.m. next week. But first things first, this is a big series against an in-state rival in Georgia State. That was a Panther team that jumped out against some weaker competition early in the season. Were in first for much of the year. They've really stumbled all the way down in fifth. So this is kind of a desperate Panther team that can really hit the ball. Georgia Southern's going to have to bear down. Defense has been an issue at times. Walks have been an issue at times. If they can stifle both of those, not give out the free passes and free bases, this is a Georgia Southern team that has the pitching, has the hitting to do some damage, especially if they do that damage against Georgia State and get a good seed headed to the postseason.
Striking out has also been an issue for Georgia Southern. Had quite a few on their Tuesday game as well as over the weekend at Clemson. Hopefully they can start putting some balls in play. Big series at Georgia State, and as you mentioned, they can go as high as second, probably can fall as low as fifth, but Georgia State, thankfully for Georgia Southern, comes in struggling a bit as well. As for the Georgia Southern softball team, it was one and done, unfortunately, in their inaugural Sun Belt Championship. They do have two teams from the Sun Belt advancing to the NCAA tournament, so I guess good luck. What do you think? We got South Alabama and Lafayette both heading there, and I think at least Lafayette went pretty far last year.
And Lafayette also getting to host a regional this year. They've been up in the polls the entire year. Two very good programs. Georgia Southern, they had a nice run throughout the SoCon, of course, making a big jump into a more competitive Sun Belt this season, also losing a lot from those teams, but now they've seen what it's going to take. Hopefully it won't take too long for the Eagles to build up and get on the level of the new teams on the block.
All right, well, that'll wrap things up for Mike Anthony. I'm Josh Aubrey. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you again next week.